I don't make any secret on this channel that I'm pretty much against anyone that pushes woo-woo, or pretty much anything that is, quite frankly, a danger to people, even though they claim it's not. And naturopaths have been something I haven't covered, but oh my god, after this, I think I'm going to have to start. Because this is a Reddit, which is from, and it's called, I'll leave a link to it below, Read What Naturopaths Say to One Another. Conclusion: manipulative, poorly trained, and a threat to public health. And it has a selection to other conversations that people had. Now this came from, it's a full archive of a Yahoo group, and this is only part of some of the stuff they were saying. There's a heck of a lot more, and they're talking about vaccinations, liver cancer, what to do if you're having a conversation with a doctor, and the response is to outright lie to them. And in one, there's a, what is, I think it's in one of the vaccination conversations, he's talking about having, that the guy has opted, one of his patients has opted for single jabs instead of the multiple MMR jabs. And the guy, one of the guy comes back and says, oh, you want to recommend them something mixed with mercury. And I was like, what? What? Mercury? You're saying you want to give people mercury, an element which is known to cause, you know, actual harm to people? And I'm like, and what's even the fullest extent of the things is there have, you know, mercury is no longer used in, in vaccines anymore. It's no longer used in anything medical anymore, except in probably like the tiniest of amounts. And yet, from what I could see, this guy was advocating giving him mercury, as a full dose. And I'm like, and people think, neuropathic doctors are good for them, and yet there's one where it talks about in the bad numbers, where the guy talks about acupuncturists, and then the next response to it is, gee, you could replace acupuncturists with NDs in this. And the guy that originally posted is talking about a whole heap of stuff that's wrong with acupuncturists, and just, I can't believe some of the conversations that some of these people are having. I really can't believe some of the conversations, particularly when they're talking about vaccinations and some of the stuff. There's one which is stop wasting money on vitamins and mineral supplements. And one of the MD blatantly just comes out and goes, but that's our bread and butter, we can't stop doing that. And I'm just like, huh. So MDs will continue to say how important vitamins and mineral supplements are, and yet here you have an MD going, in fact several MDs going, then how are we meant to make money when that's our bread and butter? I'm just like, oh Jesus Christ. This is astounding, some of the conversations they are having. It is absolutely astounding. And one of them is an insurance thread about one of the guys is trying to get insured, and he can't understand why he can't get insured, and that's hilarious within itself. And then there's the ones, I'm going to do a separate video on the defence of naturopathic medicine and the future of naturopathic medicine. You know, I've barely scratched the surface because I only found it a couple of hours ago, and I've just been reading some of the posts through a couple of hours. But you know, feel free to have a search and use it yourself. But oh my god, whew. You know, and people trust these people other than real doctors. Jesus Christ.